here and welcome to another episode of my alternate alpha career mode series with Marcus Ericsson at the helm of the Alfa Romeo C38. We are in Monaco, having had a very poor running in the last few Grand Prix, and Monaco really is not my favourite circuit, if I'm honest. Those barriers are always a bit too tight and I always end up clipping the wall at some point. So we're going to see what happens here in qualifying.
One of the most challenging qualifying sessions on the Formula One calendar. Who can add their name to the illustrious list of Monte Carlo pole sitters here today?
Okay, so let's have a look at our setup for this race. Basically running with a slightly customised setup. It's really just the high downforce configuration, slightly lower front and rear wings, and the adjustment on throttle and off throttle we've made some slight adjustments to as well. So let's hope that that is enough to enable us to get a decent lap on the board as we go out for our first flying lap. Sweaty palms as we get into the crux of this qualifying session. Let's hope we can get something on the board. We did finish second in FP3, so if that's any kind of indication as to where we're going to plant the car, I'll be really shocked if that's the case, but I will take that kind of result. Of course they have session information, and let's have a look at the lap times. So Charles Leclerc currently leading on a 1:13.7. We've got a 1:14.8, which puts us 2/10 off of Kimi, and I think it's quite easy to see that we can make that lap time up in a cleaner lap. So let's get out there onto the track and see if we can get something better than we had in that first stage of qualifying. At least it's a banker lap at this point. Straight away. The car is definitely not behaving how it was in FP3.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three: Vettel, Leclerc and Valtteri Bottas. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
So there we go, we've lost out to our teammate once again. Raikkonen on a 1:14.2, us on a 1:14.6, so he made a 4/10 improvement on his last lap in qualifying. That puts us 1.4 seconds off the pace, or thereabouts. Going into the race, we will start 14th. The run down into turn 1 is always interesting at Monaco. Certainly can be the end of your race rather rapidly, and in need of that crane to lift the car out of the way. So we will have to be a little careful going into turn 1. And I think in the opening few laps we need to kind of try to maintain position. I will try to grab some positions if the chances arise, but trying to do that around Monaco is always going to be a dangerous sport, and we will just try to limit the damage that we've created ourselves in qualifying. Race strategy, we are going for low time management, medium to soft, and we are putting 17.5 laps worth of fuel in. Even though it's a 20 lap race, we're going to try to do some saving throughout, and let's head on out to the race. Back out there. Whoa, nearly into the back of Albon. As the car starts to squirrel around. Could have made life difficult there for Albon, but decided to wait our chance a little later into this race, because I think we will get the measure of certain cars. especially because of the strategy that we've placed ourselves on. Whoa. Well, that was a bit of a strange manoeuvre over the curbs there. Resulted in quite a bit of oversteer, and now I've managed to clatter the front wing, get out of the way. Need to settle into some kind of pattern in this race because it's yeah, I'm not entirely settled with the car, which is translating to poor lap time. Then remember, we're on the medium tyre, they're on the soft tyre. We're on a very different strategy to those ahead of us. If we can keep them within touching distance, that will be a major coup as we enter the latter phases of this race. Hamilton behind us, it's clearly in a quicker car. Can't seem to have been able to hold him up too much. Not that I really want to be perfectly honest. I'm not running in the same race as Hamilton in many respects. How he's going to get past me though is anybody's decision really, as he bumps into the back of me there. Thanks for that, Hamilton. I have the lead of you, so you have to I dictate where I place my car on the track. Do not like that line, it's not my fault. Oh. Okay. Refocus. We're not losing heaps of time to the car ahead of us, but we have just put some damage on the car, which is going to make this stint even more of a bit of a nightmare as we try to defend from Hamilton. That couldn't get the car stopped. One more of them and we're getting a penalty. Right, Kimi's in. Vettel's just gone purple. We're now promoted up to 5th place because of the pit stop rounds that are occurring around us. That is because we're on the contra strategy. We're on the medium tyre right now, where everybody else is out there on the soft. This is where we need to put the decent laps in to make this strategy work. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton behind us is also on the soft tyre, I believe. So we're done him no favours by being out here on the mediums in front of him. We've been the cork in his bottle, let's say. That is a poor corner in there, but we are escaping that because one of the Toro Rossos has just come in for their pit stop, as has Hamilton behind us. The biggest thing that I can say is that at a certain point in this race, I hope to be level with fuel, to the point where we'll be able to attack with a fresh set of soft tyres as well. Pressure. Been told to save fuel, we should be in mix 1. Ignoring those comments from Jeff because I still think we can make the mileage based on lift and coast as we've done throughout the rest of the race. Leclerc's got past Hulkenberg. He's on to me. Sees proximity arrow, and I've managed to tip the wall. Right, we're changing the wing whilst we're going onto the soft tyres. That means I've got to do 8 laps on the soft tyres, which is one lap ahead of schedule, I believe. Yeah, tanked it into that last corner, and as we can see, that means that we're going to exit into traffic, and it means that we're going to have to overtake on track. And we've got Kubica for company as we come out of the pit lane on fresh tyres. Fresh tyres that are behaving exceptionally differently to the mediums that we have just cast aside. This is going to be a big voyage into the unknown. Let's see if we can get any lap time gain. We should be one of the quickest out there at this stage in the race. Obviously we don't want to kill the tyres as well at the same time. I predicted we were the quickest on the track, and Ricciardo's come out just ahead of us, so he's won out in that battle that we were having because he probably didn't have to change front wing as we did. Ah! Box. Let's get ourselves a new front wing. This stage of the race we're kind of done anyway. Trying to push too hard perhaps to make up the deficit that we've lost. Certainly not going to finish in the points in this race, which is unfortunate, but at the end of the day it is Monaco and we have had some issues with the barriers. I'm going to say that the car is extremely lively at this point. We're trailing Kimi by 39 seconds. According to Jeff, our engineer. Whoa, a lot of oversteer there. Park the car just off the circuit there, Lando, so that promotes us to 19th, and we're still chasing Bobby K. And there comes the inevitable wing damage. And obviously the penalty from Monaco team. But then again, this is a track that I do not like. Jeff telling us that we're basically garbage. Not happy with the 19th position. I'm sure the team will not be happy with that result one bit. So Kimi managed to do quite well in that race. We now have 20 championship points, which leaves us down in 7th, and the title currently is in the favour of Valtteri Bottas with 108 points, whereas Lewis Hamilton trails behind in 4th with the two Ferraris sandwiched between them. That was a terrible race for us, as we know. Kimi managed to get us an extra point by finishing in 10th, but we finished down in 19th, which was effectively last in this particular race. I cannot wait to get away from Monaco and head towards Montreal. So if you did enjoy this episode, I can't see how you possibly would. It was a horrendous race for me. Don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe for more alternate alpha career mode in the future.